Hey, happy 5th birthday, Zilliqa. My name is Elliot Green. You might know me as Nines on Twitter or Discord. And I work at Zilliqa doing developer relations. I've been doing that for nearly a year now. I've also been working on other projects outside of this. One of them I want to talk to you about today is Zilkroad. Zilkroad, if you're not familiar, is a permissionless NFT platform, meaning that anyone can come along and list their tokens and you don't have to kind of ask permission or have your contract listed manually. We implement the royalty revenue feature of ZRC6. So as your tokens are sold, a percentage of that sale is reflected back to you. And you can see this in real time in both your wallet and on the site for the statistics. We've spent a long time working on our indexer, which basically is reading all the blocks in real time and is remembering what NFT is in what wallet and forgetting it once it's kind of moved out and sold. So at any time we can go and ask it what's in a particular wallet and it will know. So this is great for using it in Zilkroad because we kind of want live data to be there. You know, if you've just minted yourself an NFT, we kind of want the site to be able to read that immediately. Zilkroad also uses ZRC2 tokens, which is the fungible tokens, to do trades. So all neutral tokens like GZIL, XSGD, Wrap Bitcoin, and Zilliqa ETH, they can all be traded on Zilkroad. One last point to kind of bring up was, okay, cool. So we've got our indexer, we can sell and buy, and we've got the royalties reflected as well. So that's a lot of data. One big point for us was to kind of collate this data, aggregate it so we can make charts and stats for your account. So we know how much you've sold, how much you've made, how much royalty is entered into your account through Zilkroad. So I'm here to present a demonstration. I only have about 10-15 minutes to cover everything I want to go over. So I might pause the video whilst some of the transactions process so we don't kind of burn too much time there. So let's jump in. So in this presentation, we're going to learn about how NFTs are minted and what the metadata looks like for a token. We're going to upload some files to IPFS in a real life example and to show you how we're going to create our metadata. We're going to deploy a ZRC6 contract to testnet, and we're going to link our metadata to our contract. And then we're going to have a sneak preview at Zilkroad. So we're going to have a look at the indexer, updating in real time. We're going to then list a token. We're going to buy a token. And then we're going to go back to our account and see how all of the stats have kind of processed for that. Okay, cool. So let's start. So we'll start with NFTs, but with assets. So I've gone ahead and prepared two assets. I have this picture of rolling hills and this picture of the sea. I took these myself, and it's important to kind of have original content here. And I've also got an extra photo, which is going to be the photo for the whole collection. So we're going to call this collection 5th birthday photo collection. And this is the image that I want to represent the whole image, the whole contract. So we have 3 images. And I've gone to IPFS and I've uploaded these images, and you can see here I've kind of got a hash representing the image on the network. And I can use this as an NFT resource. I can point to this hash. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at some metadata. So what's better than just having an image attached to an NFT? How about wrapping it in some richer metadata? So in this example that I've got here, here's all our files. We've got our token 1, token 2, and here's the metadata for the whole collection. So let's take a look at token 1. And if we look at the raw data, we can see it's got a name called Rolling Hills, and it's got a URI, which is an IPFS link, and there's the hash. And we do this so you're not always tied to this web link. So if you have your own IPFS server, we can reference it like that. And we won't always use this hard-coded link. If you use this hard-coded HTTPS link, it basically forces everyone to go to this gateway. But we can go to other gateways by providing IPFS. And this actually has a little bit better performance by doing so. So okay, it's a JPEG, and we also have token 2, which looks exactly the same, is also a JPEG. And if you notice here, token 2 ends 5NH. If we go here, this also ends 5NH. So we can see that the image is referencing this IPFS hash. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the metadata as well. So very similar. This, rather than representing a single token, this represents the contract as a whole. So it has a name, a description, a website that you might want to link to. It also has a collection image URL. So this was this image that we were talking about earlier, LZK, which is here, and a Discord and Twitter link. So if you have your own servers or accounts, you can link them here as well. So once we have all of these, we can upload this as a folder to IPFS, and we will get a hash representing this folder. At this point, we can upload this, or we can use this, sorry, as our base URI in our NFT contract to reference, oh, this is token 1 and this is token 2. This is the metadata for the contract. So let's take a look at Zilkroad first. And I have an empty wallet here with some test funds. So we can view our wallet. And this is also in beta, guys. There are a few things that don't work, so bear with us. So there's nothing in this wallet. It's completely empty. It doesn't have any NFTs, doesn't have any activity recorded. So firstly, we need to get some NFTs in here, and we need to deploy a contract. So we're going to do that by going to the Neo7 IDE. This is ide.zilliqa.com. You can grab the ZRC6 NFT contract by going to GitHub and finding the reference contract for this. If you go to Discord as well, I'm sure someone will point you to it. And we're just going to deploy this out. We're the owner, so here's our address, ending 8282, and we've got a name for our contract. We have the name in the metadata, but this is the name that resides on chain. You know, not everything grabs it from the metadata, so these might be the same thing. And then a symbol that represents our NFT. We're missing base URI here, because what we're going to do is we're going to come back to here, our folder. We're going to grab this IPFS link, grab the hash, come back to base URI and tell it, okay, this is an IPFS link. Here's our hash where it resides. And we're just going to append it with a slash, because what this basically means is when you query for token 1, it will come back to here and it will know, I just need to add /1 onto the end and it can get to that token. So in a second, when we mint our tokens, we're not actually going to pass it any data because it's kind of inferred from the base URI here. If there was no base URI string here, so if we just remove this, then we would be expected to kind of put something in the token. And the main difference is that this is immutable. We can change the base URI at any time that we want. However, if we attach an asset directly to a token, it becomes immutable and we can't change it under any circumstances. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mint this, or deploy this contract out, sorry, to the network. And whilst it deploys, I'm going to pause it because it may take up to 50 seconds. So let me deploy this, press confirm, and I'll see you in a second. Okay. Now that that's finished deploying, we see it come back as a success, and we now have this deployed contract in our deployed bar. You can't see it because my face is in the way, but the contract is 0x35, so I'm going to click on this one, and this is the one that comes up here, 0x35. What I can do is press batch mint, and here's one I prepared earlier. I'll find this one. Here. So I have prepared this a parameter to go into batch mint. And basically each one of these represents a singular mint. So I'm asking it to mint me a token to my address ending 82 and another one ending 82. And where the token URI is empty, because as I said before, we don't need to put anything into the token because it's all going to be inferred via the base URI. So we're going to copy this into here, press call transaction and confirm. And I'm going to pause this whilst this confirms as well. Okay, cool. So this is also processed. We can verify this by getting the transaction ID. And we're going to go to DevX, but there will be a button here to take us to ViewBlock. And we can see here are two tokens from the null address to me, the null address to me, token 1 and 2. Here's what I passed, and here's the events and the transaction that I called. So we go to that NFT contract, we can go to the state, and here's our base URI. We can double check that here. And we can also check token URI should be empty because we didn't mint any. And where else are we? Token owners. So 1 and 2 belong to me, 82. So if I come to Zilkroad, I'm hoping that this has updated. So what we'll do is we'll cross our fingers and press refresh. The demo gods are with us. And here are our NFTs. As before, this comes from the chain and the metadata together. So we're going to view the NFT first. Wonderful. So again, it's not had no sales, no volume. It's a 10% royalty because that's default on the contract. We can go back and change that and this will reflect accordingly. We can also sell this NFT from here. So we can sell it for, ignore that Zil one, that shouldn't be there, wrap Zil. And just for an example, we'll sell it for 1,000. And we're going to tick this box, approve and submit. So we're going to call two things here. Firstly, we're going to set the spender, which allows us to list a token to a smart contract to do something. So, you know, we want the smart contract to do something, we have to give it permission. Set spender's given it permission, and then user list is doing the thing and it has the permission to do so. You can also call set operator because set spender is like you have to call it per token, whereas set operator is you sign it once and then the contract can kind of do everything. So if you have to batch upload a load of tokens to Zilkroad, it might be worth you calling set operator instead. So that transaction went through. So if we refresh this now, and we go back, I wonder if we see it on the marketplace. It says here, if we go back one, sorry, NFTs listed 1, and we see it here, we've got a listing row here, and our price and our output. So what we will also be able to do is if I change my address up here to some account that has balance, maybe, yeah, this one will do. And now I go to the marketplace. It's already noticed that my wallet's changed and it has updated as well. So we can go down and we can find our 5th birthday test collection and we can view it. I have this button now to purchase it for 1,000 Rapzil. So I can go ahead and do that. It's the same thing for spending fungible tokens. So at the beginning, we were listing a non-fungible token. Now we're trying to buy that using fungible tokens. It's the same deal. We need to call increase allowance before we can go ahead and then buy that. So after we've done this, we're going to go back to our original account, go back to its user profile and check the statistics and see what's changed and see if we get our royalty, because that address also deployed the contract. So not only will it receive money for selling it, it will also, it's kind of a bit weird, it will also receive the royalty as well. It's also the recipient of the royalty funds. If I deployed the contract, then I would receive the royalty funds instead. So that went through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my wallet all the way back to this wallet. And then I should be able to come to here. I only have the one. I've got a list event, which we had before. This should be our royalty event. And as you can see, it's a little bit broken here on the table, but you can kind of see we've got a list, we've got a sell, and we'll have a royalty as well. So that's all we have for the Zilkroad demo. We're closing up the enhancements and fixing some of the bugs, as you can kind of see here, before we release it to our private beta group. After our private beta groups had it for about a week, we're going to release it to the public. So the public will then have a testnet access into Zilkroad. And then another week or two later, we'll then release the mainnet version. And we're going to keep you all up to date in where we are in this process. We're right at the very end of our development phase. You know, like everything kind of works. We're just kind of fixing the bugs, and we don't want to go to the beta without fixing everything that we can fix first. So we really appreciate your patience. Go check out Zilkroad_Dex on Twitter. Go check out Crypto9s on Twitter. Come say hello in the Zilliqa Discord as well. Be on the lookout for our tweets. Happy 5th birthday, Zilliqa. Many happy returns. Wishing everyone in the chat a great day, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye.